All right, what's up, guys? We are live for episode number 172 of the Always Race Day podcast. It's a pavement show. We're talking about Christopher Bell's domination at Phoenix and Josef Newgarden's domination at St. Pete. We're going to talk horsepower on the short tracks. It's Bristol week already. Going to be a fun midweek show this week, and we're waiting on some dirt news to drop too, and we'll have hopefully a show later tonight, depending on how things fall down. So real quick, we're presented by the fine people at the Karl Auto Group. If you're looking for a car, look no further than the fine folks over there at Karl. They're fantastic people. They allow us to do what we do here at Always Race Day. Also a proud supporter of our Cyclone Fanatic postseason coverage for March Madness for all three sports. So big shout out to them. And without further ado, we'll get this one started. All right. Do I throw another what's up, guys, after this? Can I what's up, guys, twice? Is that going to get annoying, Caleb?
Yes.
Caleb's my marketing guy, so all my questions I run through him.
PR says no.
He does not screen any of my tweets, if you were wondering. So that answers that question.
I don't have the time in the day.
I should just do one day of just sending you every thought that comes to my head.
God.
Is this tweetable?
Please, no.
What do you think of this one, Caleb? No, Christopher Bell literally dominated Phoenix, and obviously it wasn't the leader all day, but one of the biggest intervals from first to second place in the next gen era. I think either the top or the second one, if I remember right. That's the one stat I didn't go as far to put in the damn rundown that I should have put in there. I don't know. Did you guys see that? It was like 5.032 seconds or something.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like one of the bigger ones. But like as many people were kind of crapping on the race, I guess I'd ask Josh, like it didn't feel like one of those though. And I don't know if it's because he just didn't like lead most of the race or what.
I would say it has a little bit of both. I think definitely wasn't the guy that just class of the field, like I'm going to win this race by 20 seconds that most fans are like not thrilled to see. I think it was improvements from previous Phoenix races, but I think it was more of an entertainment factor to watch how much strategy kind of happened where he got put back to 12th, 16th, and then still was able to be that guy that kind of passed without any issues. And that was kind of the big thing that people have with the Phoenix is like, can't really pass, like upper groove, like lower grooves suck, but his car was really able to go anywhere. And I think it was just fun to watch because I personally I like watching a car go from the back to the front. And I think that's probably for most people.
See, that's one of my grievances with losing the old Atlanta too, was that like, that's the stuff that I miss was like managing your tire wear, coming through with fresh tires. You know, I miss that kind of racing, and we don't get that anymore with the stages, and a lot of the tire fall off at most of the tracks really isn't that great. We don't get that type of racing anymore. And so even if there's not a lot of passing, you're still getting that strategy, because Bell wasn't the only one that, was towards the back and then, rushed his way forward at times. It was part of the strategy. And so I feel like that is what made it kind of a better race than, some of the other Phoenix races.
All right, here it is. Steven Stumpf was the one who posted this to Twitter. It's the largest margin of victory in the next gen era, 5.465 seconds. The previous highest was when Christopher Bell also won at New Hampshire in 2022 by 5.439 seconds. So
when Christopher Bell's on, like he's on. So that's what we're gathering.
I think the Chili Bowl wins prove that. But yeah, absolutely. I love doing that with people that, not you guys, but I was talking to my friend about it, and he goes, "You think Christopher Bell's like sneakily good?" And I was like, "I thought he was pretty damn good after I saw he won 2 Chili Bowls and learned what that race was about and how hard it is to win it." Yeah, that pretty much did it for me. Not to mention the clutch moments in the playoffs last year.
Did you see what Bell was talking about with the like Netflix documentary and stuff?
No, what do you say?
So Bell was basically talking about how he was a championship contender, but he was not like for the first several episodes. And I haven't seen the Netflix thing at all yet. So I'm just
We're
going
bad at because I'm going to talk about the Weldon documentary, and I haven't watched that either. And I still have
wanna see-
2.5
yeah,
episodes
it
to
is
watch
bad.
the NASCAR one. So
But Bell basically said like he was a championship competitor and he was winning races and he was in the playoffs and like he wasn't in the Netflix show at all. And then he won to put himself into the championship 4 last year. And then his PR gal was like, "Oh, by the way, guess who wants to talk to you now?" And he was just kind of laughing at it that like the whole time they really didn't care to talk to him or have him included until right at the end.
yeah, and that's the nature of the beast to it. Sometimes it's tough to market yourself, and we'll get into that with the IndyCar conversation, but it does seem like NASCAR has marketed itself pretty well with this Netflix thing. At the very least, let me get the numbers on here in front of me. 4.028 million viewers for Phoenix. It's the highest viewed fourth race of the season since 2021. It also had a 7.95% drop from last week. So this happens every year. A lot of people watch Daytona, and then there's drops in viewership a little bit slightly as the first few races of the season get going, and people kind of drop off their interest. Now, last year, it was 15.08% drop, and then the year before was 12.17. So 7.9% drop this week that's the number that stands out to me there. I think we obsess over TV ratings a little bit, but that's also the nature of this sport and what NASCAR is doing. So I think it'd be, bad to not mention it. But yeah, that was the number for me.
I had to laugh when you said the highest ratings in the fourth race in 3 years.
It's just because it changes tracks. Right. So like the spring Phoenix race isn't always the fourth race of the year.
It's not even like if you were to say the highest rated fourth race in 10 years or whatever, but it just felt very much like this is the first time that Michael Jordan has scored 26 points in the fourth
I wanted to make sure I didn't trip up on the numbers. Don't get me on being
62 degrees out.
Dang.
It was like highest rated fourth race in 3 years. Like it was. But yeah, I get it, and it's.
I'm sorry to I'll dig up a more specific stat next week.
What were the previous races?
I don't know. I'd have to. I'm bad with names today. I'm terrible with names. I'm gonna say it.
Caleb, entertain us while we're
looking this up. Speaking of names,
I want to credit the girl that puts them out every week.
Speaking of names,
go ahead. Cindy Yen. Big shout out, Cindy Yen.
My name's Caleb, by the way.
I'm talking about who gave us the TV stats. Dang it!
I know, but
here, Josh, I'm sending you the thread. It has other races on it.
You specifically said make sure your first and last name is on this, and then it's not even on it.
Well, the banner didn't show up on this layout. Sorry. But one of the episodes it said Connor Ferguson, Caleb Slouha, and Josh.
So 2 years ago, it was Phoenix.
Everybody in the comments.
It was Vegas in 21.
Okay,
Just got promoted to the center. Yeah, I did.
Everybody in the comments, see if you can see what Josh is watching as the light flickers in his face.
It's March. Sorry.
It is March. I should be watching stuff. I'm not. I'm on here with you. No, if you guys have any questions, comments of any of the races that went on this week, you can go ahead and throw them in here. But no, yeah, with Phoenix and talking about that, God, Kevin, I got to stop reading the comments as they come in. No, with Phoenix and that race on Sunday, what happened at the start of stage 3, Caleb? You're my expert on this. Like 4 cautions, like back to back.
Oh, okay. I was like, bro, you can't do this to me. The race was like 6 weeks ago.
It was in the notes.
I said crazy start to stage 3. It's right there. It's the second thing. On the rundown.
My bad. I
was
literally
not prepared.
I read to that point and then I read after that point.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, there was a little bit of we started out pretty clean, and then we got to stage 3, and it did kind of seem like a cautions breeding cautions type deal. But I mean, when you just throw those guys on top of each other, especially with the dog leg, like you're asking for trouble. So not really a surprise. They kind of got it figured out there towards the end, and it's part of the deal, unfortunately, with NASCAR.
So obviously, at the start of the weekend, a lot of drivers they weren't excited about. They had an extra test session or practice session with the new short track package. Kind of a lot of negative comments, and one from Chase Briscoe that said, "I don't know why everyone's being so negative. I thought it was great," which I thought was just hilarious in its own right. Not shitting on Briscoe or anything. It's just funny that you got 30 guys that were like, no. And the one guy's like, what are you guys talking about? Like, shoot. I guess obviously the race happens. It sounds like a lot of guys said that they didn't say as many negative things after the race. They said it was fine, and they all have things they want. And we'll get to that in a second.
And I think that's the perspective, I can't obviously speak for him, but I almost think that's maybe the perspective was like a lot of the drivers came in thinking that it was going to be, 60% better. And then when it wasn't up to what they hoped it would be, they were like, oh, this sucks. And maybe Briscoe was taking it from the stance of like, oh, well, it's better. Like, it's not worse. Like some of them were saying it was worse. And
you know what? We need to fix it soon. We got a race at Iowa coming up. Okay.
Oh boy.
It needs to be way better than it is now. That obviously Bristol, the history with that short track racing in NASCAR, it needs to be fixed. I would be far disappointed if it was 15% better, 30% better, whatever it is, unless it was 400% better, because that's effectively what they kind of need. Not sure if it's that big, but you get what I'm trying to say. Both Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson today on podcasts were asking for more horsepower. That is, they think quintessentially that's the way to go. A lot of drivers also say that. I'm just calling for NASCAR to, the fans. My main point is listen to the drivers. Listen to your drivers. Try it. Just try it.
The only thing that worries me about
I got a little Josh Peck with my repeating stuff there. My bad.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that concerns me with adding the high horsepower back is that we're going to get this strung out, dominant, guys run away type deal.
Can you run away? Can you run away at Bristol?
Not necessarily at Bristol, but I'm just saying, not just at Bristol. We're talking everywhere.
Okay.
Well, we're just talking about like high.
Can you run away at Martinsville?
Yeah, we're just talking like no.
I was gonna say I don't know about that.
No, it's no.
Oh, okay.
Could you run away at Bristol Dirt? I don't think you could.
Okay, that's not even. You can't compare that.
Herein lies the issue. We need Bristol Dirt back.
We're not that. You're okay. No.
The package was great at Bristol Dirt. We had no questions for the package. Last race,
get our PR guy in.
This is why I'm not going to monitor your tweets, because
I'm going to have a couple bangers. Like if the race is boring for 20 laps, I'm just going to tweet. You guys complain Bristol Dirt. Complain it away. Now we got this.
I would much rather have asphalt Bristol.
We've had this debate. You know what I'm doing right now.
Yes, it's poking the bear.
But yeah,
I don't know. I think like it's definitely worth a shot. Like if it's what the drivers are asking for and it doesn't work out and you get the feedback, then you're able to go back on that. Like I see nothing wrong with the trial and error.
Just remember though, and this is great timing actually, as Voz gets in here though. Just remember the drivers aren't necessarily looking out for what's best for the fans. They're looking for what's best for them.
Okay, who designed the car? What are they looking out for?
Well, that's just a bunch of squirrels in a fucking purse, but You know,
You don't have to go that far.
no, but my point is, like, if I am, where's the Corey LaJoie's calling for more horsepower? Where is the Michael McDowell's calling for more horsepower?
Okay, the Michael McDowells are tier 1 now, so I don't want to hear it.
But maybe that's because of the current engine package. You can't. Here's the thing: if you put it higher up, okay, you have to have people that can, make it go faster at that horsepower.
Isn't every crew chief actively trying to do that at this current horsepower?
Yes, but you have to have the technology and the funds. They say, obviously initially it's going to, not cost anything, but like that's why we used to see these high like engine, company like Hendrick would sit and manufacture and develop, and they put a lot of time and money into their engines. Penske with Roush did the same thing. There was a lot that was being thrown at it to get the most out of that. It's scaled back.
Yeah, I completely agree that it's a costly thing. I think the whole sport is costly. I also think the Cup teams are getting a big piece of that pie. Not obviously they want more, and they've had those discussions, and that's a thing that's going to be ongoing for however long. But I mean, I'm taking the hope, the trial and error of a good package, and please do the trial at the expense of the small teams. I'm thinking more about the fans here.
Well, and that's just the thing. I mean, not to say that it's not, possible or whatever, but you just have to look at scalability. If you take a $10,000 program, I'm just throwing out random numbers, but if you take a $10,000 program,
it's about how much it costs to start a Cup team, right?
Yep.
Cool.
That's exactly how much it costs.
Awesome.
But if you take a $10,000 program at Bristol, you can compete a lot better with the $50,000 car. But if you go to Daytona, the 10,000 and the 50,000, they're not going to be close.
The good thing is, I'm just talking about the short track package.
Yes, but it's still.
You talk yourself into these corners and then get mad when
because you just don't listen. You just don't listen to what's
I'm a notoriously bad listener. You knew this.
All stock specs makes for everyone to compete. But
what does that mean?
The point is, if you add horsepower, those smaller teams, do have to, figure it out. Maybe they have a better chance now, but also they're throwing a lot of money into this car that they currently have too. So it's very interesting. I mean, I'm all for trying it out. My only concern is that you're going to have, those issues. But
this goes back to my take at Daytona. You're already wrecking 15 cars. What's another 5? That's just to get Caleb pissed off, I swear. Caleb, stop reading the comments and react genuinely.
I'm eyeing them, but I'm also looking at my list, and I'm just not going to, go with stupid comments from Connor tonight.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. I have something to add.
Yeah,
that's a different topic. This John Hunter and Logano deal. What are our thoughts? Because I feel like John Hunter seems to be a common denominator in a lot of situations.
I think John Hunter's kind of overdriving stuff. Pressure's a bit on him.
Caleb and I have talked about this.
Yeah, he's done that. I mean, he's an aggressive guy. He's not as aggressive as the guy in the one car. There we go. We got the mention in. So say something nice about him.
Stamp it on the bingo card. Again. Stamp it on the bingo card.
He was running up a lot up in front. I don't forgot what he finished on Sunday, but he was up there. So good for Ross. He's again getting the track position. I'm proud of him.
In my fantasy, that's for sure. Wait, did I? No, I went with Gibbs, I think.
I have an issue. I again forgot to set my NASCAR fantasy lineup.
P1, baby.
There might not be a chance for me to come back. If I lose If I set it and that would be a Christmas miracle that I set it for the rest of the season and don't forget another weekend. But if I lose, I'm definitely blaming Damon. He texts me the reminder at 6:30 in the morning. What kind of lunatic does that?
Hey, it helped me.
Who's up at 6:30 on a Sunday?
It helped me. Because I remembered, I woke up and I was
I made the mistake.
I woke up and saw it. I said,
I made the mistake of texting back, and then I didn't have the notification to remind me. So that's on me. John Hunter. No, the Logano's comments on it were funny. He's like, well, guys, we don't hold the gas pedal down all the way around the corner, right? Like, you got to let up a little bit.
From an aggression standpoint, it's just looking in a mirror, though.
Yeah.
That's just the
they said they talked. They said they talked and they're good. So I don't think we'll see more of that.
No, Kevin, especially if not F1 is on.
Caleb, where are we going next?
I had something I was going to say. Hamlin did mention too about the horsepower deal. I know, kind of backtracking, but Hamlin also had mentioned with a week's notice, we could have higher horsepower put in and it wouldn't cost us a dime. So
it kind of rained all over your take.
Bro,
it did.
I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you my opinion. I'm just saying there's might not be upfront, right now cost to do it, but in the long run, you're going to see a lot of that development come back.
That's a guy in the back of the room well, we could blow a couple engines, guys. Let's just keep it how it is. It's fine. It's in reality, it's not fine. It's pretty lackluster most of the time. And I thought Phoenix, for what it was worth, Phoenix was fine.
There's the thought in my brain that maybe these motors aren't designed to take more horsepower. Obviously Hamlin's comments kind of de-hypothesize that, but realistically, I think that wouldn't be out of the question. The way these motors are designed with these next gens, and then being from mainly same company, assembly lines. What if that is an issue? And that's why NASCAR is yeah. And that's why NASCAR is kind of hesitant on making this move.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what I'm not sure about what's causing it, what it would do. Chad, I don't think Bubba gets fired after this season.
That was so random. That was so.
We're throwing predictions in the chat. I kind of like it.
That's the worst take I've ever seen you have.
What was your take on the last?
We share a podcast with Connor.
Yeah, no kidding.
The worst take I've seen Chad have.
Didn't you criticize racetracks for being man-made to create passing?
No, not race tracks. I said that package was created to have close racing, and so we shouldn't it's less exciting.
Don't defend it now. We already had this debate. I won.
Oh, you brought it up.
Oh man.
Good Lord.
We kind of talked about it a little bit. You guys excited? It's already Bristol week.
Oh yeah.
It just feels weird.
Great race. I'm so excited with the short track package. I don't think they should add horsepower at all.
I suppose we did just talk about everything we would talk about after that, but I had it so far down the list.
At least with Bristol, you're gonna have the back markers clog up the front field, and so you won't have that 5.2 second gap.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it ends up looking like. I am interested in the crowd. The reason they went to dirt in the first place was the spring crowd sucked. So what is that going to look like? Are hotels still jacking up the prices over there? They certainly did for when the World of Outlaws were coming into town, the races we covered there. I'm interested to see that aspect of this weekend and how it's different and stuff. And any chance I get, I'm going to put Bristol dirt out there again. Big storyline here. I got one more after this too that I need to add for NASCAR. But Lee Diffie is headed to the Cup booth as the lead announcer for NBC this year, which is fantastic news. He's amazing.
Is it?
Are you kidding me?
It is the greatest news I've heard all year. I am so excited for this.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I had an F1 fan that mentions this weekend criticizing Lee
Diffie is
Diffie
my favorite commentator in the whole
because
world, and no one compares.
He told Bon Jovi that his wife, that Bon Jovi was Lee Diffie's wife's hall pass.
Okay, next.
No,
Oh no! This is all the energy that I have right now in me is going towards this segment because I am that passionate about Lee Diffie.
I can't tell if Caleb's doing a bit, it doesn't make sense if you're doing a bit. But what
you stumbling over Bon Jovi's late friend?
You say it's his wife's hall pass. Like I couldn't get those words in my head sometimes. You're just
Lee Diffie.
We're doing standings on who derails the show more. We're gonna start keeping counts.
Bet
I'd win it. I think
this is why I'm in the middle. I can like.
You have less power than you think. I have the control button in front of that.
Easy.
So, do you like Lee Diffie? Caleb?
Oh yes.
Yeah, Kevin's got us covered in the comments. Lee Diffie is taking over the.
It is after the Olympics.
Head broadcaster after the Olympics. So that'll be good. He'll be excited.
And I love that he. If you don't know who he is, I'm shocked that you won, but he can do Supercross. He does the Olympics. He does a ton of INDYCAR.
Shot put.
Yeah,
he makes shot put exciting.
Who says shot put after track and field? That's like a given. Track and field, the 800 meter dash, the 400 meter dash. Sometimes he'll do the 200 meter dash. It's
triple jump. Why not?
All right, Caleb. I'm still looking for this rumor because I saw the report and I don't want to. Was it from The Athletic? Okay, so Kevin's on the teardown. Sorry, it's March, so I've been head over like my knees covering Iowa State women's basketball, and then the men, take Kansas City this week. I'm back in West Des Moines. It's very relaxing. But no, the Athletic, the Athletics Jordan Bianchi, my bad, predicts that Phoenix will no longer be the championship track in 2025, rather Olmstead replacing it. So potentially 2 more years of Phoenix and then Olmstead is the rumor.
Wow, that's a great idea. I wonder why we haven't done that sooner.
I don't know. The Always Race Day podcast had it 60 episodes ago. So yeah, credit to us. Credit to us.
I thought your plan was Bristol Dirt every race.
That was my personal brand's schedule. We had 35 races at Bristol Dirt and 1 at Iowa, and that was the All-Star race.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. It feels right for that race to be at Olmstead. I mean, it just part of it is the way that the format is, but also like since we left Olmstead, there's just not a feel of a championship.
I disagree with that. I think Phoenix has done a great job, like putting that event on. They sell it out every year. They have
That's great, but it doesn't make me feel like it's like a championship.
It makes me feel like it is when they're celebrating on a podium and they got the top 4 guys coming out to music.
Okay, we could have the fucking podium out in my driveway with music.
But it didn't feel like it wasn't a championship. That's ridiculous to say. I woke up and tweeted Championship Sunday right after I got over watching Ben Rhodes' press conference.
Because it is a Championship Sunday. Just because it doesn't feel like it doesn't mean...
I think your vibes are off is what's wrong with you.
I'm not the only one that feels that way.
That's great.
I will take Olmstead over Phoenix any day, and I love short tracks, but I will take Olmstead over Phoenix any championship.
I will too. It's ludicrous for that to be the first take that you had, Caleb. Do you have any more on that? And one of the commenters, I think it was Chad, said, no, Kevin said, is it me or did Olmstead provide more championship drama than Phoenix?
I was trying to point at that because I saw that. And then
yeah,
I would agree.
We've had the moments at Phoenix. The Truck Series title has been You think,
It's
go back
because
to
there's
Brett
always a
Moffitt had
car
one
that
of
wrecks with 5 to go, so it allows everyone to just ship it and die.
Oh, it's a shit show. The Truck Series has turned into that. There's too many pay-for-play drivers. They have to learn somewhere. They don't learn before then. They get in these cars. It turns into a wreck fest more times than not.
And that's why Haley Deegan had to move on to Xfinity, because she was way too good for that.
Honestly, so I would agree. I don't think she had the resume deserving to move up, but you're gonna learn more stuff in Xfinity for sure.
But you're willing to replace Brett Moffitt?
That is the part that I don't like. You didn't have to bring up that was part of it, but now you have, and a talented driver is out of a seat because we have pay for play everywhere, ruining just everything about the. Gosh, sorry, you put me in a bad mood, Caleb and Josh. Brett Moffitt should have 2 Truck Series championships. That's a good thing to bring up there.
We got to do this every podcast.
I haven't said that take on here in 3 months at least. Anyways, I think Phoenix has had its fair share of drama. Homestead doesn't stick out like so much more dramatic. But like as far as the Cup Series cars go, Homestead would be much better than Phoenix, and Xfinity is going to be damn good at Homestead. We know that. No, okay. You didn't have any subsequent takes after that?
No, not really.
This has been a fantastic podcast.
Jesus. No. So IndyCar, real quick. Josef Newgarden put on a clinic. Really, do you guys feel like it was lackluster? Is it fair if I say that?
Why?
I just felt like there was moves to be made. I didn't think a lot of them got made. Newgarden was really good. We need to shit on our IndyCar preview, by the way.
Why?
Because we were concerned about if Team Penske can hold their own on the road courses, and they are dominating the team standings right now. Josef Newgarden won by a lot.
Last year, Scott McLaughlin was the dominant car and just got in an incident. I mean, I'm not going to say that.
It wasn't lackluster because Lee Diffie called the race. That's okay.
I was reading that, and it threw me off because I was like, yes.
I just thought it wasn't as exciting as IndyCar can be. It was a much better race than Phoenix.
You can't have every race just be an absolute.
I'm not saying that. You guys got to. You guys take
it's hard
my
because of
words
how
so
last year's was too.
Yeah, and so the ratings dropped a couple 100,000 from 1.189 to million people to 975,000. I think part of that was that chaotic start last year and the red flag that followed got more people tuned in. That's my kind of running theory on that. That's not the only thing that happened, right?
I also feel like I don't know. It's hard to compare from like previous years, but I feel like there wasn't much for like advertising. Like I really didn't see anything outside of, us that
We're the only people telling people that there's an IndyCar race.
Yeah, we were the only ones.
I disagree. I think now, can IndyCar do something different with its marketing? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Market?
What? It's out there. I mean, I follow all the pages. I still see IndyCar stuff on the regular. All week last week, I was seeing IndyCar.
We got to do more than just organic social. That's not. If you're just doing organic social, I mean, just doing organic social this day and age, that's like technology from 2000. I mean, you're 2.5 decades behind at that point. Like
I'm asking you to cite specific examples of what you didn't see them do that you want to see them do. Did they not come on for a commercial during the last episode of Peppa Pig?
No, they didn't.
That's where I would go. You want to market to the future.
They didn't have a billboard on the end of my street.
Okay, that sounds like a big deal.
But no, they're just. I mean, besides the official IndyCar accounts and stuff, I mean, how much did you see?
it's a common amount. It doesn't feel like they're behind the 8 ball with marketing, is what I'm saying. The fan response is where it feels like they're not next to the 8 ball, whatever the hell that phrase is. It's just like they have this product, they deliver more often than not, week in and week out. They should be gaining fans. Josef Newgarden's a fantastic interview. He's a star in the making if you can get him there, if you can help market that. Colton Herta can be that if he could win one damn race. Okay. It just feels like all the stuff is there in this series, and the fan response is usually it falls flat. I don't get it.
David Malukas does do a very good job. Yes, we do need more of that personality and stuff.
Hire David Malukas to just tell everyone what to do.
The Penske boys honestly do a good job of that too. I mean, like they're with their bus bros.
What's funny about that?
I love.
I'm so sorry.
It's a great show.
The Bus Bros is such a great name.
Go to YouTube and search Bus Bros. What do you mean?
Don't do Bus Bros with no context.
Be very careful.
That's the name of the show.
Yeah,
I will be the first one to laugh at what you guys are laughing at, but I'm giving context to what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, be real careful when you go typing that into places.
That's why I said go to YouTube. My goodness. So it's Josef Newgarden and Scott McLaughlin. They both drive for Penske. They are fantastic to watch on that show.
Jesus Christ. I can't focus when I can see chat because
I'm going to make you not see the chat. You turn off your comments.
Last episode, I didn't see the chat at all because I had it full screen, and now I do.
And there was a face you made that I was like, he for sure just saw that comment. All it said was Josh is ugly ×3. No. Getting thumbs up.
I do kind of have a hot take, if you will, though, about the IndyCar race.
Oh.
I will.
I think it's time for Pato O'Ward to hit the panic button.
Oh my God, here we go again. If you guys didn't know, Caleb last year said it's time for Josef Newgarden to hit the panic button after 2 races, I think, and then he won the Indy 500.
Every time you bring it up, the amount of races gets smaller and smaller.
I know, it makes for a better story, dude.
It does.
You just did this Pato one. Oh, see, Kevin said after one freaking race, Caleb.
Yeah, that was
pissing off our fan base. They want to see more Bristol dirt, less bad takes from Caleb.
That was the joke. No. You're just mad because I successfully called out that it was time for Joseph.
He won the Indy 500 no less than 30 days after you said that.
He won every oval except one.
Okay, and where'd that get him in the points?
Higher than any other Penske driver.
30 career IndyCar wins more than you got. Video game or not, I know that for a fact.
What is that?
That can't come soon enough. I can't wait for that damn thing.
Oh my God,
higher than every Penske driver in the points.
That means nothing.
It means everything.
It means you outdrove your own team. It's like one of the Big 12.
You outdrove the reigning champion.
It's a division championship.
I like how me saying that
the Bears hang banners for those, dude. Like, come on.
Me saying he should hit the panic button because they're not going to win the championship, and then him finishing 5th in points, and you guys are like, well, you did better than the rest of his team. That's not, like...
I'm just saying there's no reason,
that's not
to hit the panic button if the whole team is just lackluster in performance.
The whole team should hit the panic button then!
You didn't say that!
You didn't know.
I don't understand.
You didn't say that.
Dude, you were acting like he was a 17th place qualifier.
You guys act like it was such a bad take, but I was right.
The way you worded it was even worse. It dropped it down. You were so they're going to agree with this. Like he has been terrible. And I think he was like 6th in the standings when you said it.
We need to go back through podcast and find that clip and snip it and just have that play.
I think it's going to lose context. I think all it's going to do is get Caleb and us blocked from Josef Newgarden. He already unfollowed everybody.
No, it doesn't matter where he was. My point, you can't, in IndyCar, you can't get that much further down. But like the whole point
You
was
can get 24 spots further down.
the whole point was
33 cars in the Indy 500.
Colton Herta finished lower.
The whole point was he was in a spot where he was not going to be able to win the championship unless they went out and, I mean, just slaughtered them. And that did
I think that was the situation for anyone last year, though, because Alex Palou could not finish lower than 7th. Physically, even if he tried, he could not finish
Alex
lower
Palou
than
was
7th.
so good. That's why Newgarden finished 5th in the standings.
No one was close. That's the problem.
But he didn't finish 2nd. It's not like Newgarden went out and finished 2nd, and it was like, oh, well, he just couldn't catch Palou.
Well, 2nd and 5th were within like 20 points of each other.
5th.
I love
He
this.
was
I just
consistently on the same level as everyone else below Palou.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
20 points.
5.
That literally means nothing when you look at the points gaps. Literally nothing at all. The only thing that matters in is payouts. That doesn't mean shit.
I think if you went to Roger Penske and you said, hey, do you care if you finish 2nd or 5th in the points? I think he's definitely going to be.
Yeah, that's anyone. Yeah, you're just saying that the number 2 is lower than the number 5. You're not throwing out any
That's not
drastic
even true. That's not even true. So
Kevin's trying to hire you away for a different children's show.
Yeah,
I know.
I just don't.
How do you see that and go? He's agreeing with me. There's no way. There's no way. I
understand how, like, when you look at the championship as a whole, it was literally Palou, and then there was a group of 5 guys that were all within each other, and Newgarden had more wins than all of those guys.
Excellent point, Josh. Excellent point.
I don't understand how you guys shit on me for saying, hey, Newgarden is going to be panicking to win the championship.
It's really fun to shit on you.
He goes on to win every single oval, including the Indy 500, and still finishes 5th in the championship. And you guys are like, "Oh, see, you were wrong."
Why is like finishing 5th with all those wins and negative? Like you're like he won all these races, and only got 5th.
Yes,
he won all those races.
Oh my god!
After you said to hit the panic button, he won almost every oval.
Yes. So my point was, he is going to really have to start doing like destroying the field in order to win the championship. And you guys laughed at me. He went on to win the Indy 500. No, shut up. He went on
a non-double points Indy 500. Massive difference.
Then you can't bring it up. You guys.
Well, it should be double points.
No, you guys are literally saying, well, he won the Indy 500. And then when I say he won the Indy 500, like, whoa, what's double? Like, you can't just fucking take what you've said and when I counteract
then it's a podcast.
No,
that's exactly what we do. That's like the whole strategy to this.
Here's my thing, though, too, is you had Palou win 4 straight races and didn't finish outside the top 5. No one was near him. Josh, we gotta go in a different angle here. This is getting dumb. I don't think Caleb's coming around on this. We gotta try a different strategy. We'll figure it out next week. That's okay. Do we have anything else? Alex Palou kept that streak alive, by the way, finished 6th. Rossi in 8th kind of surprised me. Felix Rosenquist was fast all weekend. Okay. No. I asked what we can see out of it. You laughed at him. Yeah,
I didn't laugh.
I would agree. I was impressed. I was very impressed by that team speed.
And then, where was Grosjean? That's a good question.
He was up there. He got penalized.
He ran
24th. It's a good tribute to Jeff Gordon.
Oh boy.
Who else were we? That's what I wanted to get at. Last thing, and then we'll let you guys. How is Oliver Bierman in his F1 debut? I think he passed 3 cars, and they called it a storming success. Not sure if the passes were on track or not. I did not catch the race.
I was gonna say, it's 2 more passes than anybody else made, probably.
Most likely. So he's in a Ferrari so he should have finished top 6 is how I think we're supposed to say it. But it was his first one. I'll give him a grace spot. So he finished to the standards of the team. Good for him. No, so you guys laughed me off the podcast for our IndyCar preview for picking Colton Herta to win.
And he didn't.
He started top 3, finished top 5. I want an apology. Kind of hurt my feelings.
Good job. You picked a top 5 car to win the
I
race.
didn't even in real time.
He finished lower than all of our drivers. Congratulations.
Oh, that is fair. Yeah. Well, I was gonna pick Newgarden and just sweep the board for fun, and then I thought,
why does it even matter that he finished there? Because if you look at how tight the interval was between 1st and 5th, they were all close together, so it doesn't matter.
Quit making fun of Josh. Not nice.
I'm just saying
we don't do that on this show.
I was like, literally, it makes sense why he finished 5th when the 3rd through 6th are within 20 points of each other.
Are you still on this? I have to end this. You guys will not. You guys just repeat the same points.
Oh, God.
It's great. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. We'll be back next week at some point. It's March Madness. Everything's really tight. Everything's zooming around. So apologies if we're not here on a day. I'll try to give some notice on when the next show will be. We're trying to do more of them live. Thank you to all 200 or so that look to be tuned in right now across all the platforms. Appreciate you guys for listening. And big shout out again to the Karl Auto Group for allowing us to do what we do. Yeah, so check our Twitter, Facebook. We'll have it out there when our next show will be. We might do another dirt one tonight. We're kind of waiting on some news to hit there. So stay tuned for that. But as far as the pavement show goes, look for it sometime next week in the middle of my travels to wherever BFE they send Iowa State. So appreciate y'all. Thanks again.